Hey guys, so today we're going to talk a little bit about the channel in general and some thoughts I've had. So let's get into it. So the other day I was looking at one of these YouTube contributors or YouTube content creators types of channels. And the reason I do that is because I'm one of those people who, even if I do something just for fun, I always try to figure out and research and get an understanding of what direction to go in. It's the mentality I've had all my life. I don't, even if I'm just doing something for fun or something as a hobby like this channel of mine, I still want to get some tips and tricks from, the people who do this professionally and the people who really know their stuff. And yeah, that's kind of how I like to do things. So, do it for fun, but learn it as you would if you wanted to do it as a professional. And something that stuck with me with these contributor types of channels, they were talking about release cycles and releasing and so forth. And basically they were saying that you should try as a content contributor or content creator to release, I think that most of them were saying about once a week is ideal when you're just starting out. And that kind of made me laugh because I release 2 to 3 times a day. And it made me kind of ponder something that I used to do when I first started making these videos. And the thing I would usually did back in the day, well, that sounds like it's a million years ago. It's just, almost a year now. I've been doing this for almost a year now, every day. And what I used to do was that I didn't have a release cycle because, you may have noticed that I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing when it comes to this sort of stuff. I'm just a regular guy making some videos about something he likes. That's it really. But anywho, so I would just batch release everything that I made in a day. I had a very nice viewer who contacted me, give me some pointers and said, having a release cycle is probably better, etc., etc. And so I thought, all right, since my mentality was this. So I roughly have 2 to 3 times, in theory I could make it even more, where in a day where I can I can film one of these little videos of mine. And so I figured, all right, so if I release, if I on average can create 3 videos a day, then I should probably release twice a day, because then I will have a little bit of a buffer. The thing is that I never considered it from your perspective. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I mean that since, for me, I'm basically just pushing something out onto the internet. And as the channel kind of had some adoption and I saw that some of my friends started actually watching, flattering enough, they were saying that they were blown away at how often I could produce. And I kind of just went with it. I said, oh, okay. Because I haven't really pondered, I don't follow vlogs all that much myself. I follow a lot of channels and I watch a lot of IT, but usually these are really high quality videos that I just assume that it takes a long time to make them. And that's why they were only released once a week, once a month, something like that, every other week. But anywho, I had this thought, and it's just a theory. And that's what I wanted to try out. Because I might be overdoing this a little bit, because I figured that, I can still produce the same amount of videos, and I will. It doesn't matter how often I release, as long as I'm not releasing more than I'm producing, it's all good. And I'm considering, I've been saying this for a while in a few of the comments, that I'm considering moving over to releasing once a day, like these vlog videos every morning, and then still releasing my tutorial videos the same day. So instead of releasing 2 to 3 times a day, I can release 1 to 2 times a day. Now just hear me out. The thought I had was that I wonder whether or not it's valuable to release more than once a day. I don't actually know. I've had a few people who've said that they quite enjoy that I release this often, and I've really never heard any opposition to this. Though the comments I've added where I said maybe I should reduce the amount of frequency because it gets to be maybe a bit noisy. I mean, I can only imagine. I mean, if you are the sort of person who goes on YouTube and checks your flow maybe once a week, and you're subscribing to this channel, I'm pretty sure that my face is like taking up more than half your screen by the time you, well, it depends, I suppose, by the time you go to your notifications. And I'm figuring that that might be a little bit too much for some people. So I wanted to try out to see what happens if I release once a day, you know, the vlog videos, and then you still get the tutorials as usual. So 1 to 2 times a day instead of 2 to 3 times, and just try that out for a little while. Now the consequence of this is, of course, and I haven't really figured out how to do that, or rather how to solve this one, because the issue is that you can imagine if I still produce 2 to 6 videos a day, but instead of releasing 2 to 3 times, I release 1 to 2 times. The timeline is going to get completely messed up. I mean, in a year I will produce, well, quite a few years worth of videos. Like the time for, like the distance between the stuff that I'm taping today and the stuff that you are watching is going to be wider and wider. I mean, at some point you're going to see snow in the middle of summer, or vice versa. Anywho, I'll have to think about that one. Because the way that I've done it so far is that if somebody makes a request or something of that nature, I usually release it, you know, I have a release schedule, and then I just plug in a request video whenever I have one. But anywho, enough rambling. I'll see how that works out. I mean, if you have any thoughts or any feedback, yeah, please reach out and let me know. So we'll see how that works out. I'm very curious to see how it affects the overall like interest in the channel and viewership and so forth. And I mean, if it doesn't work out, I'll just go back to releasing the same way I've been releasing so far. Let's see how it works out. Have a great day.